Welcome to the pod.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day. We have a very special guest. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Lando.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's been a while, and then waiting for this time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
so-
have actually been wanting to do this for a very long time, for the longest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, we don't have very much time today.
Yeah, but
Let's
I-
get
I-
to business.
exactly. I think it's going to.
So, I'd love to introduce you formally, but since you're here, I think you do us the honor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
As you know me, maybe for those who don't know me, or maybe they're seeing me for the first time.
Yeah.
My name is Turki. So, Turki, and then I'm from Muari.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm an indigenous of this state,
Mm.
bona fide for that.
Bauchi.
Exactly. So I'm a traditionalist. So just to underline that aspect, you
Wow.
understand? Exactly.
Traditionalist.
Yes,
Yeah.
a traditionalist. So
Okay.
I'm from the root. Yes. So when I say I'm a traditionalist, I think people
That was
know,
that
may-
was
may
what I
get
was going to ask first. For starters.
exactly. So I think the introduction can even stop here, because except if there's any other thing to add, then you may throw the question.
Okay.
Exactly.
So if someone comes out and say he's a traditionalist,
Exactly.
like what does that entail? Like what is, like, in brief, what's the detail of that?
Okay, and I'm not going to give the details, son, of that, but I'm going to just give you a quick summary, or maybe just a brief, explanation.
Okay.
When someone said a tradition, he is or she is a traditionalist. We start, from the word tradition. So we check our tradition, our culture. So these are, let me say, these are people who dwell or still dwell in their own culture. You understand? And then tradition is the way of passing the culture, you understand, from one generation to another. So I uphold, to my tradition. Yeah, why I'm saying this, because it's surprising nowadays to hear that someone is a traditionalist. You understand? Or it's not a better expression, but for the better understanding, of our viewers and listeners, they say ATR. South African traditional religion,
Okay.
So, but in Africa, we don't practice religion, so we practice spirituality.
Wow.
Yes. So, but for the better understanding of, the religious people that we have today, or that we in court are today, excluding myself, if you said you don't have a religion, people are surprised.
What's the difference
The difference is that
between spirituality and religion?
religion.
Because I think it's
Exactly.
kind of confusing for a lot of people.
exactly, it's another whole topic, but let me just chip in here. A religion, is a group or a bunch of dogma. You understand? So it's a set of institutions. You understand, to govern people. You understand, mentally and otherwise. So, but in spirituality, you have some religious aspect in a spirituality, or in spirituality. But in spirituality, it's a holistic system of understanding, who you really are and the nature. And that's why in spirituality, we don't talk about, that God, a God, and then, like we are taught in religions.
Deity.
But yeah, exactly. We talk about, spirit, supreme being. So, supreme being, you acknowledge, people in the first instance, what I mean is that before religions, so people understood that there was, it depends now on the environment, okay, a supreme being that they don't understand, this supreme being. So they now start, from where they are, from their immediate environment. Okay, since this supreme being, we don't know this supreme being, but we believe. That's where the belief comes in spirituality, because normally it's not a belief system. But in religion, it's a belief. They'll ask you, do you believe in God? You don't have to believe in God. I know God is in me. God is in me. It's not a he, it's not a she, or it can be he, she, and then, genderless or both. Now, but in religion, you have specific rules, stories or myth. Now, in every civilization, there is a myth. Now, this myth is designed or created as stories, to explain spiritual things that, a common sense cannot understand in a common way.
Wow.
Exactly. So they don't give, you are not fixed in spirituality. You discover God yourself, the creator. You look around you, the nature, you respect the nature. You understand? So I always tell people, I said, there's nothing new that religion brought to us as an African. You understand? Nothing that is good, that anywhere you go in this world that is good and that is new to us, or that we didn't know, or our ancestors did not know or master it before these religions. I give examples in the Bible. I said, example of 10 commandments. Yeah. Check around in every culture. Are you going to tell me that people didn't know that, it's wrong to take somebody's wife just like that, or to sleep with another man's wife? There were consequences, and they are still today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in spirituality, you test it yourself. It's science. Another name of spirituality, like professor, I forgot his name, Professor Kaba Kamani or so. He said, there's a book he wrote that spirituality before religions. So in this book, he explained, in details from researches, you understand, things that you don't need religion to do it, or to see, or to understand. So, for example, now, if rain wants to fall, it falls on either you are a Christian, you are a Buddhist, you are a Muslim. It doesn't matter. Once it falls on your land, the principle of nature is that you cultivate. Once you cultivate, you're going to harvest. But if you don't, it doesn't matter your religion. It does not matter. You cannot just say, I'm praying to God, to give me good harvest, and then, you refuse to do the right thing.
Okay, you made mention of so many grammars.
Exactly.
I know most of the audience would not know. So I just want you to break it down.
Okay.
You made mention of dogma.
Yes.
You made mention of myth.
Yes.
So can you break it down a little bit?
Exactly. When you check religion, there are rules that they say, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. Now, this dogma, you understand, it's not that it doesn't exist somewhere else.
Okay.
But in religion, like for example, you only listen to your, pastor, for example, in Christianity. So don't do this.
Most Christianity, or in all?
No, I'm just giving an instance. You understand?
Okay.
Because we have like thousands of religions in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
It's either 2,000 plus. I'm not accurate on that. You understand? So, but you see that I just call it a religion.
Okay.
Or religions. You get the point. So in dogma, you are just packed. Okay, you are hooked up in a corner that you just have to do this. You don't think outside the box.
Do or don't.
Exactly. So what you are told to do, no matter what, you just do it or you don't do it. So even if your conscience is telling you that, come on, these things are not right, because the religion says don't. You understand? Now the second word is myth. Myth, like I even explained a little bit, I said these are stories created
by humans.
Exactly.
Okay.
But in every civilization,
okay,
myth exists.
Are you saying the 10 Commandments is a myth?
No, it's not a myth. 10 Commandments are set of rules. Now, myths are stories.
Okay.
Are stories.
Example of this myth.
Okay, for example, now like in Egyptians, let me say, in ancient Kemet, that's ancient Egypt.
Okay.
Because when we say Egypt, people think, is this modern Egypt that, full of white, descendants of Arabs, and other people that invaded Africa. You understand? So that's not the real, people there. So the real people were blacks, like you and I. So they created a myth, the virgin born Mary, the virgin born,
Yeah.
Messiah. You understand? And then
It never existed.
never.
Wow.
Never. Because see, there are about
Sorry, come you say what doesn't exist or never exist?
the issue of virgin born Mary. You understand? Whether
Okay.
Jesus, because Jesus is the last of many. That story, that myth
Is the last of many.
many. Yeah, I can say
Okay.
15. You understand? Or 16.
Okay.
Or I think Jesus' story is the 16th.
Okay.
Because there's a book called The 16th Crucified Saviors. Now from Mithra to Heru, you understand? And then
Okay.
yeah, down to
those
Jesus. They have the
saviors were
same
crucified.
or similar stories.
They were
Okay, with
crucified.
that of Jesus.
Exactly.
Okay.
Same or similar stories. 12 disciples. And then walked on the water. Performed miracles. Healed the blind with spit. You understand?
So in another religion, they are saviors.
Exactly.
Okay.
That came historically and archaeologically before Christianity or before these Abrahamic religions. Now, when I say Abrahamic religions, you understand what I mean,
But why was the Jesus own more popular?
And because if you check now, if I'm not mistaken, I think
Yeah,
Christianity
PR,
is
no?
the
PR.
You understand? So Christianity, I think, is the
Okay.
most populous or one of the populous religions, on earth. I think is the most populous or the most, is on top. You understand? So if you check this by either population or by, not really population, but by, vast, land, where people, adhere to this religion.
Okay.
You understand? So if you check, there's Mithra, there's Krishna, all these ones, and then they have the same story of Jesus or 12 disciples, walk on water, perform miracles and other things, and born of a virgin. So that's why I said these are myths. They are myths created in every
As
civilization.
a spiritual person or someone practicing spirituality,
Yes,
it's not possible for a virgin to give birth.
exactly.
That's what is driving you into these
Exactly.
conclusions.
So yes, no, it's not a conclusion. I'm not concluding anything. You
Okay.
understand now? This is it's something that you have to do your research. Okay, you do research. Now, when as a researcher, you don't just listen to what people say. You don't just see what people do. You don't just accept or hear.
You have to do
You
confirmation.
experience it also. You understand? You
Okay.
confirm.
Okay.
You get the point. You observe. You criticize. You analyze. You all those things. So, but in religion, they say you don't ask questions. You understand? So you don't use your what they say, medulla oblongata. Don't use your common sense. Like people.
What is common sense? A lot of people make
Okay.
use of that word.
Okay,
What is common sense?
okay, common sense is
In the most common way.
is a human ability. You understand? I think I just put it as a human ability to see what can be seen. To see what can be seen. To test what can be tested. You understand? And then to just simple things. You understand? To see simple things and then say yes. Because a common sense, even a little child has a common sense.
Simple things.
Yeah.
Okay.
For example, like if they say, okay, let me just give you this example that I usually give to people. I say, for example, now I have my own stores. You understand? I own a store, and then I do my own podcast. So I come here to Lendo, podcast, and then said, Lendo, the way you do things here is not right. You understand? You should do it the way I'm doing it. That I have the right. That if you don't do it, something will happen like this. I'm not advising you. I'm just saying it.
You have to do it like that.
You just do it the way I do. And even if you refuse, I get angry over you. You won't accept. Well, I'll just tell you that no, your father is not good. My father is the one, is the father. You should be the father.
But normally now, so you did.
So if you just leave your father, no matter what, that's common sense.
Yeah.
You understand? You have what you have. And all the errors of this life, you commit and I commit. And all the good things of this life, you do and I do. So why should my own side, my own aspect of the story Be atheistic.
Okay. Some might argue
Yes.
with pessimism.
Okay.
Like you can look at something from this angle and it's different from the other person's view.
Yes.
So how will you relate these two things?
And that's exactly what we're talking about here, you know. You see, if you check even from our sizes, from our colors, you know, anything,
We're
everything,
different.
we are a little bit different. But we are all human beings, for example. You understand? For the fact that I'm a little bit fairer, you know, that doesn't mean that everybody should be like me, or you should be like me. Because after all, what can I do with my skin that is a little bit lighter that you can do? You understand? So that shouldn't be a problem. You get the point? So, for example, like you take me, I'm Zaar. You understand? That's my culture. So you see, this is a symbol of my culture, you know. So present. Now, some other people have different colors that represent their culture. They have their stories. Why would someone now leave his own culture to another person's culture and said, no, your own culture shouldn't be like this? Then I will ask you. That's why I said the only religion in this world, the only religion. Now I'm speaking for myself. There could be others, you know, I don't care about others. But the only, you know, religion that has never gone to other people, you understand, to like evangelize or to tell them that I am the chosen one of God, you understand, that you should follow my steps. It's ATR. It's African spirituality, or it's spirituality. You don't have to go to somebody and say, no, you have to behave the way I'm behaving. You have to live the way I live. Because God or some entity in the sky, you know, said that I am peace, or I will say, chosen one.
Okay. That's the PR I'm talking about.
I'm just okay. I do not want to compare this to a product.
Yes.
But when you make a product or when you produce something, you need to market it.
Exactly.
So why is it a problem when people market their religion?
Okay,
It's not a problem.
It's not a problem if you market it. Now there's a problem there. There are some expressions, there are some words that when you use in marketing, for example, now even in marketing they tell you that
excessive, persuasive, too persuasive.
No, persuasive is even, you know, it's not a problem. You understand? You are trying to persuade, you know, and your potential customers, you understand, to patronize you. But the thing is that, for example, now, you know, we say something off mic, you know, that why won't you, you know, display some wine here, you know, some bottles of wine. You said something, you remember?
Yeah,
exactly. So that it shouldn't be that. Okay, now imagining if you had a brand here, so you advertise your brand, but you don't say, don't buy this brand.
Just market your own.
Exactly.
Don't demarket another person.
Exactly. Because it's like I'm saying, I am rich. I don't have to say you are poor. If I'm telling people I'm rich, they should come to me, you understand? I don't have to say this people is poor, this person is poor.
For saying sake, but tactically, when you say you are rich, you mean the other people are not as rich as you are.
Exactly. So let the common sense, play its role here.
Yeah, I get it.
Like we're saying in Hausa, you know, Kaizagin Kaswa, Zakasabu, what's this? Dukan Kaswa, Zaima Dukan Kaswa. So,
yeah, sure.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, we are still on common sense.
Exactly.
And I'm still not convinced about what you said.
Okay.
With regards to common sense.
Yes.
How common is common sense?
Common sense.
Another example I will cite is, for example, now we are looking at an object and the object is blue.
Yes.
Then I have eye effect.
Yes.
That I have a problem of colors.
Yes.
And you can see that this is blue.
Yes.
While me I'm seeing purple.
Exactly.
Common sense, according to you, should tell me that this is blue.
Exactly.
But my view is not blue.
Yes. Okay. In that case, you know, in every given rule, there's an exception.
So it's not absolute.
No. I'm coming.
Okay.
In every given rule, there's an exception.
Okay.
And thank God you said, now when I say thank God, some religious people will say, hey, he's calling the name of God. I'm not going there. But I'm saying, okay. And we decided to say, thank goodness, you understand?
Yeah.
This is another language we are speaking.
Okay.
Now, it's not that it's absolute or not absolute. That's how we talk about, you know, environment. is what we agree upon. What you call it green in another people's, perspective is not green or blue.
Okay.
But what you just gave this example now, it is obvious that there's a problem. So when you have a eye defect,
Yep.
you understand? So it means there's a problem. So if you are normal, you would see that it's blue. You see the color.
So normal
That's
people,
if
normal people should have common sense.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you are normal, you are okay. You are
get.
exactly.
I get.
Yes. But something blue here may mean a different color in another environment. And that's where language comes in. Linguistics plays in now.
Okay.
Because, for example, like if I take in my language now, you see this particular color is red. This is white. This is black. But in English, you can have another color they will say is wine.
Ox blood.
Doesn't make sense in my own reality. You understand? Ox blood. Are you talking about ox as an animal, or are you talking? You understand? So in my environment, am I going to say goat's blood or sheep's blood?
They're just adjectives. Yeah.
I
Trying
understand.
to qualify it.
Like in every language, it exists in every culture. So like when they said, this is wine, this is purple, this is all these things. In other languages, they don't exist.
Okay.
But their reality, they have their own, reality in their own culture. As regards to these colors.
Okay.
Exactly. So like what is regarded as tall? If you go to an environment where, the tallest people there, are just only 6. So and then you go to other environment, you understand the tallest people are above that. So where you would regard somebody as short, if you go if that person comes to another environment, the person is tall. Well, in his environment, they are saying he's short. So that's
Wow.
exactly, it's relative. Reality is even relative.
Okay.
Exactly.
So what is your reaction to the new Gunzar of the Sawa kingdom?
Well, what would be my reaction?
Yes. What is your reaction as a traditionalist?
As a traditionalist, this is about freedom. This is about freedom. So the history is there, is in plain sight. These are the people that have been struggling for many decades. Understand? For to have their own, to be free. Understand? So when somebody is trying to be free, to be free, not to be free, but to be free, you know what that means? It means the person is not free as regard to certain things, or as regards to, let me say, governance, because it's part of governance. Okay, so you should rule yourself. You should lead yourself.
Okay.
You should be the leader of yourself, your environment, or not another person else. So Muzar, this is something that people have been, people died, for the cause of this actualization that just, happened. We hope so. The final, what is it called, ceremony or so, will happen.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but for now, it's a freedom. It's a freedom to the people. Understand, and not only Gunzar. The other chiefdoms. So it's a good thing.
Another question with regard to that.
Yes.
I've seen on the internet a lot of people have different stories, different narratives.
Yes.
With regards to the formation of Tafawa Balewa.
Yes.
So some had different stories with about the first prime minister of Nigeria.
Yes.
So can you shed more light on that? Who really owns Tafawa Balewa?
Okay. You see, the problem we have today is that everybody wants to have somebody who will say something before they believe or they accept. You understand? So it now depends from which angle. If you check, for example, formally, they said the prime minister, you understand, Tafawa Balewa is from Tafawa Balewa, and then they said is it Fulani Hausa, you understand, if you can check on Google and all those things. But now when you go to the environment, you ask people, you understand. When I was growing up, people say, he's a zaar man. They say it's a zaar man. So I've not taken my time, to do, an extra research on that, because after all, whether he's zaar man or not, I don't think is of much importance. You understand? To me, to claim, he's zaar man or he's not. That argument is not, I think, it's not important for now, for me. You get the point?
Okay.
But what I heard, that he's a zaar man, is from a particular village within the Babylon side, you understand? Yeah, local government. And then, but that's where I can what I can say here, But there are claims that, he's a zaar man. That brings me to the name Tafawa Balewa. If you check, there is this contention between the Fulani and the Zaar people. Is in Zaar language, is called Pusji. So Pusji is Blackstone. Even in Tafawa Balewa, some people say it's Baleri Tafai or something like that. So it's still Blackstone. So now the problem is who holds the power? You understand? Who holds the power? So if you check who holds the power in Nigeria, and as regards to northern Nigeria and then Bauchi State, where the politics can play in, and then, who knows what it is.
We have gone far, but I'd like to retract a bit before we go. I would like to think you were you were not born a traditionalist, like in quotes. So how did you discover it? And then when was the point you say, Kai, I need to go back, I need to understand my roots, and this is what it is, and this is where I should be?
Okay, I was born a Christian, in a Christian, family. Now, that doesn't mean I was born in a Christian root. You understand? Because Christianity has no root in Africa. That is, it does not, originate from Africa. Or it did not, let me say, it did not originate from Africa.
Okay.
So it came, it's a foreigner. You understand? That's why, before we were practicing spirituality. You understand?
Yeah.
So when I was born, I grew up, as, in a family, a Christian family. So we used to go to church and all those things. We used to say yes to, everything they said as usual, until over 30 years, of my life. And then I rediscovered myself. I said I rediscovered. So even though I was born in a Christian family, it doesn't mean that I was. You understand? I was supposed to remain a Christian. No. My origin is not Christianity. Because I reincarnated. That's where it gets deeper now, in African spirituality.
Yeah.
So I reincarnated.
Was there an event? What actually happened?
You see, we still go back to, some expressions, now we've passed in the, in our recent discussion. The common sense. When you begin to ask questions, use your common sense in religion, you will see there are a lot of things that don't make sense. We're talking about sense here. So a sense that is common. When you apply that ability, which the religion prohibits. Now, that's why when you begin to say things, you begin to ask questions, they say, no, it's the devil, you're asking too many questions. Or they'll say, wow, this one, if you've gone to school, modern university, I'm taking a modern education system, because that's not education, that is an education. So if you have attended that, or passed through that system of education, they will say, because you've known too much, or because you've gone to, other things, other places. So in my own case, I began to rediscover, I began to rediscover myself, and I reconnected with my ancestors, spiritually, physically, and, otherwise. So I now began to see that things in religion, many things no longer make sense to me. Because, for example, they said, okay, if you don't accept this deity, you are going to be condemned. I said, wait a minute. So my ancestors who didn't know this deity, they just didn't know. And even some of them came across, but they didn't care about. Where are they now? if they are in hellfire, I would be happy to be there with them. Because at the end of the day, like Moponga Joshua will say, what would you gain if at the end, as a Christian or whatsoever you understand your religion, that you find yourself in heaven and then your siblings or your family members are in hell? Are you going to rejoice? So I'd rather go with them. You understand? Some people will say, no, your parents are Christians. I say, yes, my parents are Christians. So what about their parents and then their grandparents and their great grandparents or great parents? I mean, you understand? What about them? So any tree that is disconnected from its own roots, what will happen to the tree? Destruction. So I am reconnected back to my own roots.
Are you saying hell and heaven don't exist?
They only exist in, let me just point out Abrahamic religions.
Okay.
They exist there.
Okay.
I don't know other religions, you understand, there are many religions, but in our own context here, you understand, they exist in these religions. In African spirituality, I don't think hell exists.
So what happens?
Or heaven exists.
What happens after life?
What happens after life?
Yes, in African religion.
Okay.
Spirituality.
Now, that's why I talked about reincarnation. You understand? But this is a whole topic on its own.
Life becomes perpetual, does not end.
Life has no ending. It's like, let me just summarize it in just, give you an analogy.
Okay.
If you take a grain, it's a life, it's a seed.
Yes.
You plant it.
It dies.
In darkness. You understand? What happened? It dies. What happened?
Germinates.
Life. Comes back to life. Grow. Passes experiences and other things, and then you and then dies again and then again and again and again and again and again. So this is just a summary of, and how Africans, viewed life.
Okay.
In the beginning, before the sudden coming across the foreigners.
Wow.
You were saying, okay, after germination,
exactly,
it dies again.
No, after germination it grows.
It grows, then
exactly
it dies again,
and then old, and then dies again, and then, because, for example, take a maize.
The same seed,
the same blood.
Okay,
my ancestors and I are one.
Okay,
you understand?
Let's in context.
Yes.
Maize.
Exactly.
Then I process it and
with just one maize, just one grain. You understand? You can feed the whole world. Just a matter of time. Plant just one seed. Okay. How many seeds are you going to have? Now, each and every seed is part of the first one. It's like you and your father. If you check your DNA now, you see that your ancestors are there. They are within you. They are nowhere far from you.
Sure.
Exactly. So I'm just giving you summary. You understand? I'm not an anthropologist, but it's part of it's part of me. You understand? Because we talk about common sense. Sometimes you don't need to go to Western school and then study something and then come back and then say because you've gone to school. No, it's common. If you go to these mountains now, you can trace the history of people and all those things and what they, how they live there and then other things. And then I forgot my introduction that I always, something I give. My introduction, would be, those who reject the way of their ancestors, their offsprings will also reject their ways. There's no argument about that. So if
I say almost everybody is guilty of this.
Exactly. So like in my own case now, what they tell me every day, they say, no, but your parents are Christian, your grandfather. I say, okay, my grandfather. It started from my grandfather. Now, what about his own grandfather? So people are not asking questions. You say they're not saying that. What about his grandfather? No, they're just because they are biased. You understand? Because I'm a Christian, I want to defend Christianity. I will start from your family who accepted Christianity first. I will now ignore the other ones. Any good thing, mention any good thing. I'm not saying that in religion there are no good things. So. You understand? But are those good things new? No. I can bring good wines here or good things in to this podcast. You understand? But what if I tell you that these are the only good things? You will look whether you have other good things, whether these things are new. If they are not, you say, bro, man, you understand? That's why you're using your common sense.
Okay, you made mention of if you reject your offspring will
If you
also,
reject your ancestors,
your ancestors,
yes,
your offspring
those who
will
were before,
reject you.
exactly. If you reject their
Okay,
ways,
and you say your parents are Christians.
exactly.
Do they reject their ancestors? Did they reject them?
No, I told you that it started from my grandparents.
Okay, your
my grandparents.
parents, they rejected their ancestors.
Exactly.
And-
Why I said they rejected the ways of their ancestors in this context is that they stopped being Christians.
They stopped being Christians.
Excuse me. They stopped being, you understand? Exactly. They became Christians. So they stopped, you understand, exactly following the ways of their
Then
ancestors.
the next set,
our parents,
they follow their own
exactly, because they are
ways, Christianity.
exactly. So
Then
now,
the next set,
me alone, me, myself, and I, me alone.
you
Now,
rejected them.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand.
Is if we should use the word rejection. Okay. If not, okay, because they will say no. People in those days, they were blind. I said I will not insult my parents that they are blind, but every question that you ask in this aspect, the answer is there. If you say they were blind, it means you are my parents and you are telling your grandparents that they were blind. You understand?
Yeah.
So whether it's an insult or not, now if I tell you that you are blind,
Yeah.
how would you feel? Because there's nothing I can bring now or I can say that my parents didn't know or did not master before even I was born. So I cannot tell them anything, anything good or bad, and they cannot tell their parents. Their parents cannot tell their parents. Their parents cannot tell their parents. It's a chain. So once you break that chain,
they rediscover themselves.
exactly.
Wow.
I understand. It's all about marketing and know the marketing.
In some context, but in spirituality, we don't market. If you check, let me give you an example. Sana between the spirituality which represent the olden sana practice, and then I want to talk about health now. For example, now this example, if you check in hospitals and other things, they advertise. They do all those things. But when you check Babalawo, when did you see any, now, just told there are some,
There are digital ones now.
now because of 21st century.
I've seen a lot.
You understand?
Yeah.
But initially, normally, they don't advertise. You just hear from somebody that there's one, Baba there that you can help all these things, and secretly go there, and he doesn't charge you, that big. You understand? He collects for offering, or for sacrifice, because there's nothing free. Nothing free on that. Yes.
But in spirituality, I wanted to ask.
Yes.
Do you guys normally have like concerts? Do you have your own type of music, artists and cool?
No. So in spirituality, you have to come back to the roots. You understand? So what do you mean by what is concert first? You understand? There are festivals. You understand? These are cultural aspects. Spirituality is a holistic, lifestyle. It's a holistic. It's not like religion. Religion represents a particular culture of a particular people, so it cannot be holistic.
Okay.
You understand? Because that's why you see in Christianity now you have Ngas, you have Jarawa, you have Igbo, you have Yoruba, you have all those things. In all these religions, they put them all together. But when you check, that's not their root.
So, are you saying this traditional spirituality,
Exactly.
it varies from place to place?
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like, you can find that similarity in religions too. For example, in the case of Nigeria or Africa, for example, in Christianity, you have different denominations.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But in this aspect of spirituality, African spirituality is culture. You understand? Same spirituality, different cultures. For example, now, if you take, for example, in my own culture, Zaar, let me use the case of a native doctor. You understand? Or a priest, a chief priest. Every religion and then masquerade. You understand? You have them in every culture. You have those things. The only difference or differences, and the differences are the method of carrying out that tradition. Tradition is not, it's not a fixed thing. You understand? It's the way you pass it to generation, and it varies. The way people marry, you understand? In those days, even in our culture, there are some, let me say, evolution also, changes. Even the way we speak, even the way we dress, all those things, even the same culture.
Wow.
Exactly. So it's not like religion. They will say, because there's one book that governs the whole religion as an institution. So everywhere, everybody must follow.
All right. This is a very, very much needed conversation. It's just such a pity that we don't have so much time.
Yeah.
But even though we've planned to do this again, like, broader contest, some of our colleagues are not here. And they'd love to engage you because they have a lot of questions for you, but they are not around today. So
put down their questions for the next time.
They will be here.
Exactly.
They will be here.
Yes.
So shout out to Val and Messi.
Exactly.
They are not here. So Josh, final words. You have any final take for today?
I think I have more of questions than final words.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
My final words are more of questions.
Final question. No, just question. Question. To just put everything together.
Okay. You've made mention of a lot of things about religion.
Exactly.
That does not make sense.
Exactly.
From the context of a religion person, there is a lot of things you mentioned today.
Yes.
That does not make sense.
Okay. Example.
From their context, I'm sure there are a lot of things you say that will not make sense to them.
Okay, what he is saying, are you?
I
know understand what you talk.
Okay, him from his own point of view.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that happens in religion that does not make sense.
Exactly.
Then I'm very sure that there are a lot of things you say today.
Yes.
That does not make sense to religious people.
Yes.
So I'm looking at it as it counters each other.
Yes. How
can one know the one? For example, someone like me, how can I know the one that makes sense?
You as a Christian.
Yes, a Christian. You just get back to yeah. So I advise that you get back to the drawing board. You start asking questions. You start using, your common sense. You start, applying critical thinking.
Let me also react as a Christian.
Yes.
It says there are things that happen that you cannot explain.
Exactly.
Right on.
Mysteries.
I said things that are spiritual that can't be explained. You understand? Spiritually, you understand? Using this common sense, you understand, or understood by common sense. You understand? So you have to apply it. For example, now let me give you an example of technology.
Okay.
The science and technology, they are just working hand in hand. Science is the concept. Before you write something, you have to conceptualize the thing here.
Yep.
So that concept cannot be expressed to everybody to understand. So you have to convert it to another thing. So that's why myth, they give stories. You understand? If you check, people will tell you that, even the history of Christ and also, Jesus, because Christ is not a surname, it's a title. So there are many Christ, you understand? It's when you are anointed, you understand? so that people will understand. People will understand. They will tell you that, the whole of story of Jesus is an astrological, understanding, knowledge. 12 disciples, 12 zodiac signs, and then, each one they can break it to you, understand? This is 21st century. I advise my fellow, people, understand, to just do research. That's all. Imagine somebody who is a graduate and then, you are expected to have, you understand, conducted at least one research at the end of your program.
Sure. Requirement.
But when you ask a Christian to do research about something, if you say Jesus did not exist, do research, you will say, no, God forbid, why would you say this kind of thing? It's a blasphemy. But if you check the definition of blasphemy, when they came to Africa, they blasphemed our own gods or deities. They condemned them. And then what is disturbing people today, or any Christian or that that will feel they say it doesn't make sense or whatsoever, is what is called cognitive dissonance. They just feel shocked, 10 They don't want to hear. No. Just leave my Jesus, No, don't talk about him. No, it doesn't matter whether it's true. I don't care whether it's true or not. Somebody who claims he's educated. You understand?
Okay.
In this 21st century, you can do your research. Yeah.
Reacting to what you said again.
Yes.
You said people should go out and do research.
Exactly.
The Bible was written by
men.
And those things you are going to research about were written by
men.
So it's not making sense.
It's making sense. And you are a man. So if it's not making sense,
if you are complaining that, or if you are saying that the Bible is written by men,
yes,
people should research to see more or to read more.
Not in the Bible.
It's also written by men.
No, what I'm saying, if you believe or you accept what is written by men, why wouldn't you go and do research on other things that are written by other men?
You understand? They're all written by men.
I'm saying,
so you're choosing your own men.
Yes, you understand? And then it's not wrong to choose your own men. But what I'm saying is that, I give an example, I said, every tree that is disconnected from its own roots, what will happen to the tree?
To die.
Vanish.
Die. Not instantly, but gradually check out what is happening.
All right.
How can you say that you are a what tribe are you?
What tribe are you?
Yes.
He's Zaar.
Okay, you are Zaar. Now you understand. Now as a Zaar, how can you say you are a Christian as a Zaar? It's a contradictory statement. I'm Zaar and a Christian. Because every religion, I told you, every religion is a representation of a particular culture of a particular people.
Okay, how will you say you are a traditionalist when you are a Zaar?
Because
Zaar's tradition.
What is the tradition of these Zaar people? They have their culture.
Yes, they do.
So when I say traditionalist, I practice my tradition,
Zaar
my
tradition.
culture, exactly. If I want to be specific, I would say Zaar.
Okay.
But as an African in general.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr.
You're welcome.
Turki. This is the much time we could take today.
Yeah, I
but
appreciate it.
I'm excited since we're going to do this again. I know that
Exactly.
so many people have questions, so we'll take a lot of questions.
Exactly.
And then we'll do more of responding to those questions next
and
time.
I also have questions so that tell them that anybody who is coming with their questions,
Yeah.
with a question must prepare to come with answers too.
Okay, because you have questions for them too.
Exactly.
All
That's
right.
how it goes.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lendo. And